and a follow-up hook or something like that doesn't just demolish one of your teammates. You just need to save them and buy time.
And it's not like they need a whole lot of initiation. Maybe he's going to be able to make up for it pretty soon. 1,000 gold. He'll have a Blink Dagger. Tidehunter is oftentimes going to be in the front lines and make AoE stuns. So there's plenty of things that can set up initiations for LGD that don't require that fast Blink combo. 8 to 8, but LGD are looking to be pretty far ahead right now. Even though it's just, as you were kind of saying, like only a 1k gold lead, it just looks better game-wise for them. It's
just difficult for TNC to pressure. And as a game where the later it goes, the more you favor LGDs, 37 is in the wrong neighborhood. He has been spotted. You know, it's called the Dire Jungle, but at this point in the game, it's really not Dire's at all. Between the two teams, both finding it a whole lot easier to invade the opposing jungle. Kind of TNC that kind of own Radiant jungle and vice versa. He did get a pretty decent amount of information, realizing that LGD are going to be committing to that push. Say that one TP back, Yao's doesn't have his ultimate for about another 10 seconds. I wonder if they'll be able to hold this. Sam H. Holding on to the Ravage there. Do manage to get stun off and a quick retreat here from TNC. Now Sam H is still looking for pictures. Maybe he is going to be able to catch Cuckoo. They have the Ravage, they're going to let it go here. Managed to catch a lot of different heroes. Blocking Oracle saves Cuckoo's life. Managed to get the stun on Amazing, but at the same time, the Clockwork, his initiation goes a little awry as he managed to kill the Ancient Ambush, but not enough. Ray man fights against Victoria, but he's surrounded by too many heroes. They're going to try and still run down Victoria with Tim, and has his flying vision to be able to catch the hero, but it may just cost him his life. The extra movement speed is going to be needed here to stay ahead of maybe. Has the orb, gets a little bit more vision, goes for a nice silence TP out. That's smart play there from Tim's, but a nasty team fight for TNC, losing 4 and only killing 2. It's very rough right now because the Sven doesn't have BKB yet. So Raven, he's trying to push with his team because they realize that there's always an objective that needs to be taken when you're playing against this kind of morphling mass AoE team fight lineup. So he's there and he's trying to hit stuff and it's just not happening. He got solo echoed there by Victoria, got chain stunned. His team can't really do anything for him because at that point Sam H had already committed onto Yao. And then we saw a waveform into the cogs, ended up saving Yao for a good amount of time, allowed him to get off the last chilling touch. And because of that extra magical damage, they're able to just kind of chew through the Sven. So very nice team fight coming in for LGD. TNC, once again, maybe feeling like they should do something, though, because they know Ravage is down. So it's Echo for the time being. Hope that boundary. It really wasn't. The amount of money that he gives away. And this is, I think, going back to what you said about how LGD kind of just look like they're in a better spot. If you are in a game where you know that your late game is going to be superior, and you are very close in regards to net worth, trades always benefit you, because even killing a hero like the Night Stalker is going to give you a fair amount of golden experience. If you're like super far behind, it's even better if you're that team who had the late game and takes a successful fight. It's very difficult, I think, for TNC, given the way they want to fight, to really do anything until BKB comes out on Raven. I think that is just a necessity at this point. Do you think Cuckoo should go straight for the BKB here or the Shadow Blade? I think the Shadow Blade is better because it helps you scale. Yeah. And having the Blink Dagger is great, don't get me wrong. But the heroes that you really want to kill, I think, are like the Tidehunter first, and without a Silver Edge, with nice blast and puck combination with the Earthshaker here too. Quick execution of the Sven by LGD. He just exploded. That was a ton of damage. The Veil synergy on this team is huge as well. We're gonna have the Ancient Apparition, the puck full combo, Earthshaker spells. Eventually the E-Blade coming out on Ame. He's got 2,100 gold, and he's already got the Ghost Scepter for his E-Blade. That is just going to be, any hero is dead if the Fate's Edict isn't perfectly on point. And you're already sitting at an extra 55%. Or a decreasing magic resistance by between Veil and then if they get the maxed out Ice Vortex. Yeah, that as well. They're just going to, you can't get enough armor. That's the, you need magic immunity. And someone needs a pipe. I think Tim's is filling it. Yeah, he's got the pipe on his quick buy. It's going to be a huge value item this game. I'm kind of surprised that they ended up going for the Armor build on Cuckoo against an Ancient Apparition, because it doesn't really provide you much survivability if you get chunked by the Ice Blast. I was kind of thinking like maybe he just goes the Eternal Envy route, you know, just buy that pipe, first item, let's go. Yeah. it's so good against their team. It's actually, I think, worth it in some cases.
They're all in on the magic damage. A 4-man smoke up behind Cuckoo's Dragonite, but the smoke is going to pop. They see Yao. They'll try and catch him here, but they're now fully committed. Good hook shot onto Victoria, locking down that Earthshaker. His first priority, but Force Staff does manage to get him outside of the cogs. Old 11, while they move forward and do manage to kill Baby Puck. Tim's meanwhile going to be chased down, hit by the ankle slam. Looks like they're going to be able to lock him down long enough to get that kill, while Old 11 looks to zone the rest of TNC from chasing, as he does have that Ravage. Sam H was doing a little bit of battle from Ame. Say battle, he really just was being a big old punching bag. Force that forward, Old 11 doesn't have enough mobility to catch TNC on their way back. Victoria does. He actually is the one with the blink tag. Who had the Force Staff? Oh,
the Tide Hunter, yeah. They swapped their itemization. So what I thought they would do is just go for mech on Old 11 and then just have the Shaker by Force anyway. It makes your 5-man just that much better.
Right.
But if you have someone else with a Force, you might as well buy Blink. Because if you're playing at this level and you have the faith in your teammate to save you, you can just skip it.
Yeah, honestly, the Blink's not needed on Tide too much, right? Like, he sits so far.
Oh my god,
that's so much magic damage! Raven, he almost dies to that one, but they do manage to get the Oracle save. So Raven's going to go over to the Shrine during this False Promise. While Sam H does manage to lock down the Earthshaker, another Force Staff out of that one, plus the Ravage is going to be able to catch Cuckoo with the Ice Blast over the top. It protects him against the magic damage, but it still cuts him down. And now, with that armlet toggle, he ends up dying. Sam H, he's trying to get away, but take a pushback, maybe. I don't think you really want to chase this one. LGD have already done enough damage, and TNC is going to be able to come back here with Raven with the God Strength and cut down the support, but they need cores here so badly. Raven's just swinging through the creep wave. They aren't going to be able to chase down Old Left, who's got the Force Staff, but I think he's just dead. LGD, I really like that play from Force Staff, but they still have the Blink Dagger on Raven to keep up. That will be BKB for Raven off of those kills. So that fight, it looked a little nasty for LGD in the beginning. Or, sorry, it looked a little nasty for TNC in the beginning, but they managed to clean up a couple kills in the end, and it gets them that BKB, so they hit their big mid-game time.
It's what they need for sure. Raven being able to just freely hit inside of the team fight is the best possible scenario for any Sven team, really. And a lot of the time, you have another hero who just kind of locks somebody down for you. Think things like Bat Rider. They drag the target to a melee core, and the melee core just beats it to death. This time, it's a little bit hard because the hero that does that for him is Clock, and Clock doesn't have a ton of inherent synergy because of cogs. Like, you want a cog to keep heroes still, but it also keeps Raven out. Having the BKB, this kind of eliminates that issue of him needing someone else on his team to set somebody up for him to hit. And now, LGD still looking to be in a pretty good position, just really, really depends on the BKB reveal of Raven and what it can do.
So this combination actually goes down to minus 95% magic resistant. If they get all the things, Ethereal Blade, Veil, and the Ice Vortex, all of the hero. Just any single move is going to do so much damage. Ame, they're looking at him pretty hard, but having the Lincolns kind of kills Sven's entire initiation. He loses that much earlier in the game. We're seeing that now for TNC, that they just need so many heroes to be able to bring Morphling down.
He needs that Bloodthorn. That's the big thing. I think it's kind of hard for Sven to justify buying any more than just that, though, because if you really want to break Lincolns and kill the Morphling, you need another item, too, on top of that, so like a Halberd or something, just as an example. To be able to break the Lincolns, apply the Bloodthorn, and stun simultaneously. But you can't really afford to commit that many inventory slots. In the meantime, LGD, looking at Roshan, will be scouted out here.
Shadow Blade on his way. Far too late to contest. Roshan, LGD will grab the Aegis from Ame, and now they push forward. They're going to be able to catch a couple of heroes now. Cuckoo goes straight for Yao, going to be able to take away that Ice Blast, while Raven takes the other support out of the pool. He goes for Victoria. Echo Slave does manage to go off, and Cuckoo's going to take a lot of the damage. He's just blown up by the shotgun, while Raven's still going strong with the BKB, but they really need him to be able to finish off some of these cores that are just so tanky, though. 1437 does finally use the False Promise on him. Sam H managed to finish off the closing off laner, but he's going to be chased down by the other two cores of LGD, Navy and Ame, on top of Sam H, and TNC, despite having plenty of heroes still alive, could do nothing to stop their core from dying.
That Ravage was so good. It hit everyone. It hit everyone like on the very edge in different directions in the team fight. Like, obviously during that point, Raven had his BKB on. But crazy thing about Anchor Smash, goes for BKB. Also still applies the damage debuff, which did hit Raven at some point. So Ame standing there, being the one who takes the brunt of Raven's God Strength attacks with that Anchor Smash debuff. You know, when they changed it to give strength and not just like straight up damage, that makes Anchor Smash better. against God Strength because Strength gives you base damage and Anchor Smash reduces only base damage. So it's not something you think about too much, but every little bit helps when you're trying to live through that onslaught of a BKB Sven.
Yeah, it's like that interesting Timbersaw Sven reaction. You know,
yeah.
It's the same sort of thing.
Reducing damage output is very, very nice. And just because, you know, you have that BKB, you feel kind of like invincible as Sven at that stage, because that's your 10-second BKB. That's the point where you're like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna kill everyone. He spent so much time hitting Morphling that he really couldn't get anything done. And even on top of that, the E-Blade plays more into countering the Sven, because if you E-Blade the person he goes on, like, what does he do during that duration? Like, he has to change targets, you know, maybe there's no one else nearby to hit. It can be very tricky.
It does feel like there's just way too many kiting mechanisms for a Sven to be successful. All three of the cores are too hard to kill in some way. Puck is super elusive, Tidehunter is super tanky, and he's has Anchor Smash, and Ame is just super hard to kill no matter what, plus he has Aegis. So TNC really need a much stronger initiation. Last one was pretty good too. They instantly blew up the Ancient Apparition, just like we see 1437, blown up by LGD. But they took out two supports like near instantly in the fight.
Yeah, it just, again, Old Eleven's Ravage was too good. Like, he hit every single hero that he could, you know, feasibly hit.
And poor Dragon Knight was like at half HP when he got hit by that shotgun.
Yeah.
He can't bail on him at that point in time. That's the only way that makes sense.
Now, this is looking to be a pretty scary timing. They still have Ravage off cooldown. Old 11 is just going to walk up to the Tiger and be like, come at me, dude.
TNC, how do they stop this push? Honestly, I'm very surprised that Ame's backing up. Because with that Aegis and the double Lincolns...
Oh, he didn't... Oh, he did replicate. Never mind. I was going to say, I didn't see where it was, but it's in the middle lane. So. I think he just wants to keep all the lanes pushed in as much as possible because, again, looking at TNC, and we spoke a little bit about this during the draft, not really a lot of wave clear.
Yeah.
So once the lanes are in, they're pretty much just going to stay in. And I think LGD realized this and say, hey, look, if you have top and mid pushing in with us all being bottom, you can't really kill the creep wave fast enough. They're going to get chip damage on the tier 3 every single time someone leaves to go deep push another lane.
There's no rush on using this Aegis. Still got plenty of time. They jump forward. Here comes that magic damage. Fortunately, the Shadow Blade and the Force Staff will manage to get him out. Now, maybe does not have an orb to defend himself here, but they are going to throw down their Ravage. Managed to catch 3 heroes on back line, so Sam H is just dead. Has no buyback. But the Ravage being used, LGD, we'll see how comfortable they feel continuing to force this situation.
They shouldn't feel too scared, to be honest.
Yeah, with double Lincolns on top, kind of a kill. And even if they do get the catch up, Tim's managed to come in. Oh, they blow him up already, but Raven with the BKB goes for Old 11, but that's a Ravagelessness Tidehunter. That doesn't really do a whole lot. He needs to be able to bring down some of the other cores. Fortunately, they do manage to take down Ame. That's just life number 1. They actually kill him another round here. Raven doesn't actually have any mana, neither just Cuckoo. These guys are just always manaless.
They have really, really low mana pools. That's one of the issues with the heroes in general. And that's why I think Bloodthorn just fits Sven so well. You just get that mana pool increase, you're regenning all the time. It just feels so good to have one item in your inventory like that, even if it's, you know, some random item that gives you regen. Like Lincolns, we see a lot of Svens picking that one up as well. But still a defense, nonetheless. I think Ame still had time to defensively E-Blade against the Sven that was going in on his Tide, but maybe he just didn't figure like it was worth it because he already had expended Ravage anyway. And he wanted to just try to save it for a potential instead. But TNC buying themselves time, getting towards that Bloodthorn, that is a huge item. That is the item that basically says, I'm killing whoever I go on unless you physically stop me from doing it.
So talking about that Bloodthorn, LGD have obviously kind of owned the timing that we thought TNC and their strategy should have been the most successful. We're going to go into plan B for TNC, which is going late game against them. What do you give their chances to actually pull a win from this game?
It's all going to be down to Raven. And what I mean by that is, does he get the lucky cleaves? Does he get the the one like 3-man Stormhammer into a couple of cleaves and just instinct crits, everyone dies. That's like the
Sounds pretty likely.
That's the X factor, right?
Yeah.
But that's what Sven always does, because you get to a stage in the game where you feel like, okay, I have so much farm. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kill everyone. But if they're all spread out, your God Strength Mask of Madness BKB is really only gonna kill like one hero, and then after that, you've kind of expended most of what you're going to be doing during the fight. You just need the one good initiation where maybe LGD are moving around with the smoke, they get revealed and they're too clumped up or something like that. And that's the fight that TNC are going to look at and just be like, boom, 3 or 4 heroes dead right away because of the Sven. I think that's going to be the most likely way they're going to win, because it's too hard to push out the lanes. You can see that TNC's positioning right now. They're showing pretty much nobody on the map at all. I mean, LGD aren't either, but LGD are the ones, I think, who have the easier time pushing lanes. They have the mobility of the Morphling. He can replicate, bot to somewhere, push the lane, come back. He's not easy to kill. Whereas they've shown time and time again, they can kill Raven. That's not a problem.
Certainly. They do manage to get a successful scan on the Morphling. He now shows himself. Radiant scan inside the base is actually going to miss. So because they can scan inside the base, they may feel a little bit uncomfortable. Dame being out here by himself. Looks like he's kind of baiting his positioning. Not quite yet, but as his team kind of wraps through the jungle, maybe he'll push out a little bit further. But they're still looking towards mid.
This would be a really fortuitous engagement for TNC, solely because they have so much vision around where they are right now.
Yeah.
This is another really good way to take team fights if you're behind. Just play around where your wards are instead of trying to do some crazy smoke into no vision. But LGD are not going to be denied. They're going to force them back.
Get some damage onto that tier 3. TNC all managed TP back here. Just a couple of seconds there. Oh, an aggressive force snap onto Tim's. May have just found an opening, but they force it. They're going to jump forward onto Ame, but he managed to get a defensive force snap away from that one. So now Raven just has to hit on Old 11. He just doesn't do enough damage. So TNC are now caught outside of their base. This is the last place they wanted to have a team fight. Sam H, he's going to be the one who ends up going down for that. Great setup there from, I think, Old 11. One who used the force snap on Tim's.
That was a really clutch play. Kind of forcing TNC to feel like they had to commit, when in reality the best thing you can do in that situation is just watch Tim's Night Stalker just die.
Off the Lincoln. Still have DB's Lincolns to throw over the Morphling if he ever gets in trouble. But honestly, what trouble can there be with God Strength down? 35 seconds. There's no way TNC can. Oh, Kuko has it. They're going to pop out, immediately get Tackle Slam. 1437 is going to be able to get off the false promise, and looks like they'll be able to kill Victoria with that one. So killing the backline, that's what they kind of can do. They can kill support with this Dragonite, but the other cores are just not going to go down easy, especially Kuku's going to be jumped on once again, try to save for the magic damage, not going to be enough. Raven actually underneath the shrine goes for TP out, but the damage is too much. They overwhelm his HP pool, and TNC are going to have to fight again. 4 versus 5, a push back there with the cogs, but he jumps away from Kuku's replicate. Maybe it's just going to be Old 11 guys. TNC pop of the God Strike just to make this easier, but again, LGD are fine with Tidehunter dying, especially when it's after Ravage. They've already fully disengaged. They took the tier 3, they took the melee rack. They're very happy with their position in the game.
TNC are kind of being exploited in the way that they need to take fights. The Clockwork is such a heavy committal hero when you go in. If I don't get my kill when I hook, and I don't have an escape item, like there's no force staff on Samage. He built for more of the, I want to utilize my effective health pool and get blade mail and try to kill heroes that way, which is fine. But just look at the difference in how Samage has to play the game and how easy it is for the Tidehunter, Old 11, just to walk up behind his team, just stand there, and he pressures just by existing, right? It's such a difference in play style, and TNC with the inability to push waves, they can't force LGD apart. They can't make them, you know, TP to a tier 3 or a tier 2 when they're pressuring, or heck, even a tier 1, I guess, because LGD's offlane tower is still alive in a 35-minute game. There's just not really a whole lot of avenues of play that TNC currently have that allow them to directly pressure LGD other than just straight up fighting. And if you try to fight LGD's lineup, it's really hard.
They desperately need that Bloodthorn. Solar Crest's gonna help out a lot too. They kind of need that minus armor on whatever hero Sven is hitting, because this is just not the Sven that we've seen in a lot of the group stage. It's not a 1, 2, 3, you're dead Sven, right? Because oftentimes he's like hitting Morphling, who's super tanky, one way or another, either has high armor or really high HP. He's hitting the Tidehunter, who's sitting at what, 2,000 HP plus the Solar Crest in his own.
Yeah, there's no easy targets. That's the biggest issue. And because of the way that the fights go, once LGD are kind of grouping up, this is something big that I think has been a theme throughout the tournaments. Anytime there's a lineup that is really good at sieging and kind of just sitting there, if you allow them to get in position first before you do anything to stop them, then the fight becomes like 10 times harder. And then you're relying on someone else on your team being able to be somewhere else on the map, doing something, pushing a wave, creating some kind of pressure or chaos that LGD would have to deal with in this case. But you can see how scared they are. Like, Ame just fearlessly teleports to the bottom lane. There's 2 heroes here.
All right, they're going to try for it. They managed to get the Storm Hammer onto the creeps, the stun onto Ame, but I think he hit the Silence, got blocked by the Lincolns, and then the Void actually landed. Yeah. So that... Not the 1-2 punch he wanted. He wanted the other move.
They didn't even have to buy Manta. They're just going to get tier 3. Level 11 sitting in the front line like a boss.
Excellent plan. A lot of Cuckoo with the Ice Blast coming in. The Ravage as well. Raven does manage to pop his BKB first, but they're all out of control. So Raven's just going to be slowed down by the Scotty, chipped away, and TNC will call it game number 1.
That was a clinic put on by LGD, really. I never felt like at any stage TNC, maybe barring like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, had real opportunities to deal substantial damage to LGD's lineup. They just always were defending towers. We talked about that. LGD really just needed to teleport